Hey everyone, welcome to Chin Music with Mitch and Tony. My name is Mitch.
And I'm Tony.
Welcome to our 10th episode of Chin Music.
What
Tony,
is
man, can you believe it? We're already at 10.
already at 10? Dime a dozen. Dime a dozen, bub.
For sure, for sure. That's awesome, man. So,
Yeah.
how's your week been?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. There's a little snow on the ground, so it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go. Yeah, week's been good. Yeah, man.
Good, man.
Let's see. I had a nice little recovery week a little bit. Hate to say that, but it's true. Took some time for myself. Played a little hockey. Mm, just lining stuff up for the next week. So got World Series underway. Jackson
Yes.
started hockey. He's got first night of hockey practice. He's never skated. I mean, like that, but he passed learn to skate, and then we put him to a league here, and then that league wasn't able to form due to registration numbers, so they actually ended
Oh,
up letting him practice with the 13-14 travel team, which those kids, like about half of those kids, can skate better than the really good adult teams, like.
right.
So yeah, Jackson was in for a new experience that way in the
That's
hockey
awesome. And for
world.
people that don't know, Jackson is your stepson.
He is my stepson.
Yep. So, for people that don't know, that's who Jackson
He's a
is.
baller.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I took a week off a little bit too. I had a couple of podcast interviews for Wide Left Sports, and then did an interview for Q2 this week. So that was
Nice.
fun.
Oh yeah, we watched it. We can
Yeah.
watch your mug on the TV, just putting out the vibe.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that was fun. So
It's
I'll
awesome.
get back to the grind more next week. But one thing that's going to change for our listeners when this episode comes out, we have our first ad.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, yeah. So
Go.
Leah with Leif Wellhaven Consulting recorded an
Nice.
ad for us, so it'll be
Perfect.
on before every episode. It'll be good.
Let's go. Even better. Perfect.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, another
Heck
thing
yeah.
you did this week is you were on the radio.
I was on the radio. Yep. Yep. That
Yeah.
was good for a couple hours, right?
Yes, yes. So
Yeah, fun deal. Fun deal. Yeah, loving it. Yeah, fun deal. Just a nice little way to connect with Billings and wake up, Billings. It's time for Tommy.
no, I know Leah really liked you, and
Mhm.
I obviously always do. And I'm sorry I wasn't there in studio, but snow and duty calls at home. So
Nice. Yeah, no, Leah was great. We had a fun time together. She's a hoot.
yeah, she's awesome for sure. So
Heck yeah.
yeah, so let's just dive right into this with this last week of NFL and college football, and
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So how'd your Patriots do last week?
They covered. That's one of my picks, and I have to say, I think looking back in all 10 of our episodes, I'm about 2 for 20 on picks. So whatever I think that I may sound like I know, just don't listen, because I'm not even going to listen anymore. Last night I didn't even the Rangers D-backs game 2. I'm like, Shelby, just pick it, go with your heart. And she's like, well, I think the D-backs are going to win by 2, at least more than 2. And I was like, okay, that's what we're betting. Sure as shit, she hits it.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I can't. It's so hard. It's harder than ever. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, maybe I'm just, you know, maybe I'm just short-minded and all of a sudden. But I
Maybe.
suck. Look at that hat.
I forgot to put it on before we started, so I thought I'd just put it on.
Bro.
The official Chin Music cowboy hat.
Oh, yeah. This looks
Yeah.
like Dwight Yoakam. I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere.
Yeah. No, I'm if anybody that knows me knows I am pretty anti-Montana when it comes to cowboys and
You're stone
skiing
cold
and
cowboy.
hunting, and so I was
You're
like, you know
built
what?
Ford tough. Actually, you're built Dodge Ram tough,
Probably.
especially if Sam Elliott's doing the ad.
So I decided I'd go get a cowboy hat and make myself a little bit more Montanan since I live here and have my whole life.
that's like that's like a sort of a cowboy hat, but it's also like kind of a stylish hat as well. Like I feel like
It
that's something like Russell Westbrook would wear with an outfit to.
right, yeah. So I mean, I wasn't going too far out of the realm here. So
Yeah.
yeah. So no. Anyways, so going back to our picks, never ever listen to me. I am like the worst when it comes to picking anything.
You heard that, listeners. Don't listen to us. Have a
Yeah,
good day. Thanks for
yeah,
coming
no.
out.
So I said that the Raiders were going to go in and beat the Bears last weekend. You can roll back last week. I said that was going to happen because I knew that both the starting quarterbacks were out, and I thought our backup was better than theirs.
Hmm. Apparently
Well,
not. Apparently that kid's been throwing tutties in the garbage can for the last couple of years.
yeah. So
Plays a lot of
that kid was
Madden.
a rookie, and I thought, well, our backups are better than that, and no, we got throttled by the Bears. So
Mm.
I am on the we need to tank and get a good quarterback train. And so there's a lot of good quarterbacks in this draft. So the Raiders need to just tank the rest of the year, fold, and yeah, just get a new quarterback. Because I don't
Mitchell,
think
I don't mean to keep coming in hot with all these songs, but I mean, I can't not look at your shirt today and just literally feel in my bones. Malakalikilaka is a way to say on a
yeah.
bright Halloween.
Well, you see, I'm trying to
That's the Iron Spirit in it. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I'm trying to will warmer weather here in Billings. It's been so dang cold that
Yeah, that's
like
pretty sick, man. I
I
mean,
was like, I'm
that's
gonna break this out.
yeah.
It's not very often I get to well, actually all of my polos that I have anymore are Hawaiian shirts, but yeah, so
Hmm.
thought I'd break it out since it's football Sunday and it's a Hawaiian shirt.
Well, it makes me, I guess, feel a lot warmer inside, but it's still 24 degrees outside.
Right? Exactly. It's
Mm,
kind of what I was
mm,
going for.
mm. So, game two of the World Series. What do you think? I mean, that series is certainly not changing the ratings of TV by any means with all the superstars that aren't playing.
Yeah.
But competitive series, right? Should go back and forth. Who ends up taking this one?
Um, that's tough. I think probably the Rangers do end up taking it,
Hmm.
which it absolutely kills me to say being a Seattle Mariners fan. But the big thing that I think is it proves that spending money wins you championships. I mean, they spent like $500 million on two or three players, which is an absurd amount of money. But 2 years later, they're in the super or in the not Super Bowl in the World Series.
Yeah.
So you have these teams that don't want to spend money. Well, obviously the Rangers are showing, hey, they've spent money and then they put pieces around them that work.
Hmm.
And another thing too, I have this weird love affair with Tom Izzo
Hmm.
that like I feel like he is a coach that it doesn't matter what team
I
he
actually got to
has.
meet him in Arizona.
Yes. And you got to meet him?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we were playing I was a freshman. We were playing Phoenix College and Michigan State was practicing because the Sweet 16 or whatever was at Arizona Cardinal Stadium. And
Yeah.
so yeah, he came out, watched us hit BP, and his team was practicing like probably 4 or 5 days before the tournament on like a Saturday.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
Yeah,
So
it was
no,
dope.
I think he's one of those coaches that like he could have not a terrible team because obviously a terrible team wouldn't make March Madness, but not the best March Madness team, and they're going to be good in March Madness because he turns on a switch. But where I'm going with that is I kind of feel like Bruce Bochy, who's the manager of the Rangers, is that same guy.
Mm,
He had those Giants teams on paper, besides their pitching, they were not good teams.
right.
And he got him to the World Series and to win three. Um, So I kind of feel like he's one of those guys that he just needs a few pieces and he'll get you to the promised land.
Hmm. Oh yeah, he's a real deal.
Yeah.
Bochy. Bochy.
So I think he is the because they had Simeon and Seager and Adolis Garcia last year
Right.
and they weren't great. Um, so I think Bochy, who just signed this year, is the real difference maker. If I
Hmm.
were to pick a difference maker on that team.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I could see the D-backs catching fire and not looking back. Like I could really honestly see them go up like 3-1 or something.
Honestly, with it not being a close game yesterday, I could see that too.
Yeah.
Because like we were talking about with the NLCS, how they were more of a scrappy team as to where the Phillies, sorry, were more of the slug it out team.
Mm-hmm.
That obviously is the scrappy team won. And it's kind of the same script again. The Rangers, while they do it a little bit better, are more of the hit it out of the ballpark team.
Right.
And the Diamondbacks are just pesky and won't go away.
Mm. NFL Sunday is here. We typically do the show on a Saturday or a Friday, and we're doing it on a Sunday because we're both just snowed in. We're hunkered down, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen. So, what do you got going today? You got NFL Sunday. You got some doozies. I got one solid pick that I think that will hit.
Well, why don't you talk about that, man?
Well, then I will. I'm taking the Pack at home against the Vikings +1, and I'm hitting it hard.
The Pack against the Vikings. Ooh,
Yep, at home.
okay. That one's interesting. I mean, definitely the Vikings are not as good as I would think, but I don't know if I can go against the Vikings 100% yet. I know that that's kind of they're not as good, but I still think they're better than the Packers.
Three-teamer. I got a three-teamer for you. I got the
Oh,
Packers +1 at home. I got the Patriots +8.5 at Miami. I got the Commanders +7 against Philly at home.
okay. There you
Three,
go. So
three. Go ahead.
my pick is I'm gonna have the Saints going into Indy and winning that one.
Ooh, it's not bad.
Yeah. I think the Saints are a pretty decent team. I just think with a new quarterback, they needed to figure it out with Derek Carr. And I think they will figure it out against an Indianapolis team that obviously doesn't have Anthony Richardson, so they're with
Mm-hmm.
Gardner Minshew. And not that Gardner Minshew's a bad quarterback, but backup quarterbacks just are backup quarterbacks for a reason.
Right.
And it's just going to be tough sledding for Indianapolis.
What do you think of the Seattle at Cleveland this week, or Cleveland and
Um,
Seattle? Excuse me.
is Deshaun Watson playing?
That I don't know.
So I think it could be a different game. I think if Deshaun Watson's not playing, which I think that was what they were leaning towards, I think Seattle will probably pretty handily win that game.
Wow.
Just because, again, I think Seattle's a stronger all around team. And if Deshaun Watson is playing, I think the Seahawks will still win, but I think it will be a lot closer.
It's a good game. The Niners hosting the Bengals.
That could be a trap game. The Bengals have not been playing well.
Minus
Um,
4.5.
yeah, but neither of the Niners the last couple of weeks. They've kind of fallen off a little bit. I mean, it's hard to say when they're 5-2, but I think the Bengals could maybe win that game.
I see that game playing out like Joe Burrow. It's not going to be. It's not going to be a shootout. It's not going to be anything like. Always have to remember is that Bengals offensive line will just get wrecked by Nick Bosa.
That's true. It is Swiss cheese there.
I'm saying minus 4.5. They cover that line. I love that. Niners at home.
Oh, it's in San Francisco.
It's in San Fran. Yeah,
Oh, then probably the Niners end up winning that.
they cover it for sure. I
Yeah,
think, but could be wrong. I don't know. I'm always wrong. So
I was gonna say neither of us are really great at picking, but that's okay.
Been doing okay on hockey though.
Hey, there you go. That's your sport, anyways. So,
It's my sport. So, what's going on in the NBA, Mitchell?
the NBA is just kind of starting up, and so you have Damian Lillard who's doing really good in Milwaukee. He hit like a almost half quarter
Hmm.
to win them a game already. So his heroics have already, started in Milwaukee, and
Dope.
so I'm a Kevin Durant fan.
Same.
I like whatever team he's on, except for the few years he was in Golden State. I didn't like that. But so he his sons are doing okay. I think he may be injured right now. Or no, he isn't. It's Bradley Beal and Devin Booker that are injured. So he's playing without those two, but he's doing okay. I'm worried about the Warriors though.
Hmm.
I think the mighty might have fallen a little bit. So Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are getting older. And when I watch them on against the Suns, they don't have any size.
Oh.
So like they don't even really have anyone that can guard Kevin Durant, which not very many people can guard Kevin Durant. Don't get me wrong. But size wise, there's no one that can really match up with him.
Hmm.
And so I think that's going to be hard for them down the stretch to keep up.
Is that Suns team going to be pretty competitive?
If they can get everybody healthy and on the court at the same time, yeah.
Yeah. Good deal. Good deal. Seems like everything's underway.
Yeah, and
Knights.
then a cool thing about the NBA, so they are towards the end of their current media contract.
Hmm.
And so when they negotiate their new one, they're looking to do some expansion.
Sweet.
And the two cities that are the most likely to get a team are obviously Vegas. Vegas is getting every
Hmm.
sport under the sun. I mean, I'm pretty sure MLB is going there with the A's. So that's not confirmed yet, but pretty much a done deal.
Yeah.
And so it only makes sense that the NBA would go there because they have the summer league there. They've had some preseason there.
Mm-hmm.
So it just makes sense for them to go there.
Oh yeah.
And then the other one that should have been done like 10 years ago after they left, Seattle, I think is finally going to get a team back. And I've always said, I've been a Durant fan and I followed Durant ever since he was in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always said that once there's a team in Seattle, that will be my NBA team.
Yeah.
And so
Supersonics. Seattle Supersonics.
I'm hoping it's the Seattle Sonics. I don't know if they'll do that because
Yeah.
technically the Sonics history is now with Oklahoma City.
Whoa.
So I don't know if they're legally able to do that,
Hmm.
have it be the Seattle Supersonics again. But also the NBA commissioner may say, hey, look, OKC, it really isn't your history. It's not in Oklahoma City. Like, let's let them be the Supersonics and just continue.
Be sick if they were the Supersonics.
You know what I mean? I don't know. They may let them do that. But what I find so interesting about that is the two expansions cities are in the West.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always find it cool when you do like the reconfiguration of the conferences because then you're going to have, and the NBA is really bad about this, Oklahoma City, which is not in Western US
Mm-mm.
at all, is in the West. And New Orleans
Yeah.
is in the West.
I know. I never understood that.
And really, to be honest, Minnesota.
Yeah.
I mean, Minnesota's kind of right down the middle.
About
so
the most Midwestern center. Yeah.
But
Central. Yeah.
so I think one of those three teams will end up moving to the East, or two of those three teams will move up to the Eastern Conference. But so that's kind of interesting to me. But so yeah, that's kind of the news on the NBA front is one, the season is starting and it's been great so far. And two, there's just some changes hopefully coming in the future that I'm excited for.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah. So what about you with hockey? Because I know that that's your sport and I know that their season 2 has just started.
Yeah.
So what's going on there?
Shoot, just got to sit down last night actually and watch the Kings and the Knights play. Knights win 4-3. Great. Excuse me. Yeah, the Knights did win 4-3, I think, or no. Gosh, it was late. I shut it off. I think they won. They did win. Sorry, excuse me. They won. They won in a shootout. So they are start their first 9 games. They're 8-0-1.
Holy crap.
So they haven't missed a beat in regards to their cup run. They look competitive. They look great. There's a lot of if you ever get a chance, download the NHL app. And
Okay.
the game recaps are freaking amazing, dude. Has all the large big hits, the fights, has all the goals scored. So you just jump right to them. They're 3.5 minutes long for each game, and just like I just sift through them at night and recap every game and just watch. Like
Oh, that's perfect.
yeah, it's great. So yeah, big fan of that. Yeah, but NFL, NHL, World Series, now NBA. I mean, we're into it, man.
For sure. So, talking about the NHL,
Yeah.
you have that Connor Bedard kid that's now a few weeks into his
Mm,
NHL tenure, which is a weird word to use for a guy that's been in the league for 3 weeks. But
mm.
how has he kind of done? Because I know that his first two games were obviously amazing. He did really well. How has he done now that he's kind of settled into the league?
So his first 4 games in the or excuse me, I think yeah, first 3 games in the NHL, he had over 20 shots on goal, and then his like last couple, he's only had like 3 or 4 each game. Regardless, he's got 3 goals on the year. I think he has 3 goals, 3 assists.
Wow,
But yeah, no, he's the real deal. Yeah, they actually gave Vegas their first loss in overtime. And the Hawks aren't anything special by any means, but they gave Vegas their first loss of the year. I believe Saturday night. Excuse me, Friday night. Yeah.
wow. No, I mean if you're picking towards the top of the draft there to get a player like Connor Bedard,
Oh yeah.
you're not that good.
Guys don't miss anymore. Like there's seldomly, especially when someone with that amount of hype has that amount of buzz, you seldomly aren't missing the boat on those guys. And he's only 18, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
He's a freak.
And talking about Bedard and his uprising, so there's an NBA player that has just about as much hype as Bedard, probably not quite as much, but Victor Wembanyama, he was
Oh yeah.
chosen number one by the Spurs, and his first few games have been kind of suspect.
Oh really?
Yeah. So his first game for sure, he had 5 fouls, which is one away from fouling out, and I think he only had like 10 or 12 points.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And for a guy that's 7'4" and can
Oh.
shoot literally anywhere, I mean, he's kind of like Kevin Durant with 6 extra inches. Um, he should be willing his way to anything in the NBA.
Right.
I'm sorry to be that,
That's true. Yeah, maybe
but
he just needs to settle in. I'll have to watch for him.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, and it doesn't help too, kind of like how Connor Bedard was the number one pick, so he obviously was put on a bad team. Um, Victor Wembanyama was put on the Spurs,
Hmm.
which they aren't a good team.
Right.
And so that maybe doesn't help his situation either because he was playing over in Europe on a team that was very good and coming onto a really bad team maybe just isn't the best.
Hmm. What are you going to be for Halloween, Mitch?
So I'm debating between two things. So I have a lot of sports gear, as a lot of people know.
Okay.
And I'm debating between either a Mariners baseball fan
Hmm.
or a Seahawks fan.
It's creative, Mitch.
I am super creative.
I would have never put that past you. It's,
No, I it's just ease. But I do know that you and Shelby went to the MSUB Halloween party. I don't know what it was actually called, but
oh,
Halloween fundraiser. And I'm sad I wasn't able to go, but with the snow I wasn't able to make it.
buddy, we didn't go.
You didn't?
No, I didn't even tell you because we were so busy not going to this
Oh,
thing. So that whole day, um, the rest of our table just like came up with like we got sick or we're not feeling well. It's cold as balls, you know,
right.
just you name it. So I called Holly and bagged it. We sent our Halloween costumes back to Amazon.
Okay.
So guess what I'm going as for Halloween?
What?
I'm going as it's either a Mariners fan or a Seahawks fan.
Oh, there
Uh,
you go.
I just
Hey.
want to. I just want to be fucking scary, man. You know what I mean?
Well, being a Mariners fan is a sad life, and so that is
Yeah.
pretty scary. Not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So I'm open for ideas, costume wise. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I just won't dress up at all. And
You should just go shirtless and go as Rocky Balboa or something.
yeah, like Adrian, dressing up like Halloween. You know what I mean? Like, it could probably be like that.
There you go. See, you got it.
Yeah, you're right. Fit right in.
There you go.
Well,
Oh, man.
Mitchell, I really need to go put my bets in because it's 10:20,
Yes. All right. Well, this
and
was a shorter episode this week. We will be more prepared next week, hopefully on Friday or Saturday.
yeah,
And
it's just been too cold, guys. Sorry, I
yeah, it's
can't
been
do
too
shit
cold
when
for
it's
us to
cold.
really do much of anything. So,
Yeah.
anyways, thank you so much for listening and have a great sports filled week.
Ooh.